Why the good stuff first? Why is Netflix removing the good stuff first? Just why? I mean, first they took care of Voltron, in which I never heard of and actually didn't really watch, but has a good score. And then they removed She-Ra, which is like my favorite show of all time. And now they're gonna take care of Kipo. How cute! Fascinating! My heart is breaking! Yay! I am extremely ticked that they didn't start off with the bad sequel TV shows like Home Captain... So in order for me to keep talking about a few of my favorite shows in this video, I'm gonna rank every single TV show created by DreamWorks, well, except the preschool TV shows because, well, I'm too old for that. How many am I gonna talk about? 31. So let's criticize the bad sequel TV shows, explore outer space, fight a few trolls, have a look at Mega Mutes, and watch Adora turn into an 8-foot-tall lady called She-Ra. Let's rank! In last place, at number 31, we have, well, obviously, it's not going to be too surprising, Megamind Rules. This has to be, like, the biggest disappointments of my life. Like ever. I mean, the animation is bad, the writing is bad, like, everything in it is bad. Like, why do this to me? Also, where is Will? Where is the OG voice actor of Megamind? Where is the king of comedy himself? Well, even though there are a few others that kind of deserve the spot, like Kevin Hart, Brandon Rogers. But to be fair, DreamWorks is very well known for making bad sequel TV shows. So let's just ignore this sequel, keep the first movie, and then we're happy. For number 30, we have the Monsters vs. Aliens TV show. Why? Why make a show even though the movie was bad? Okay, well, to be fair, it kind of happened with, like, a few other movies, I suppose. But still, like with Megamind Rules, the animation is bad, the writing is bad. Also, what is this? Yeah, I can say that it's the same thing for Megamind Rules, even though the score is, like, a tad bit higher on IMDb. For number 29, we have Dragons: The Nine Realms. Another sequel TV show that starts off soulless, bad writing. You know what? Screw this ranking. We're doing a lightning round to all of the bad shows. Number 28, The Captain Underpants Show. Number 27, The Bad Guys TV Show. Number 26 and 25, The Two Boss Baby TV shows. They're bad as heck. Number 24, Turbo Fast. Number 23, The Mr. Peabody and Sherman Show. Number 22, Home, The Adventures of Tip and O. Number 21, Fast and Furious Spy Racers. Number 20 and 19, The Bad Trolls Show. Number 18, Spirit Riding Free. Number 17, All Hail King Julian. Number 16 and 15, both shows of the Croods. Number 14, The Adventures of Puss in Boots. And last but not least, the last in the bad section, The Penguins of Madagascar. Whew, finally, we rounded up all the bad shows, which is most of the ranking. Alright, let's get up to some of the okay stuff. For number 12, we have Kung Fu Panda: Legend of Awesomeness. I know that the Kung Fu Panda franchise has a few more shows, but I'd rather only talk about this one instead. Now, the animation isn't really that bad, but I had some enjoyments in it. Again, it's not bad, really. It's just okay. It was a good idea for Po to teach a few pandas, like the Kung Fu Panda fighting. Why did I say that? Now, to be fair, it doesn't really tone up to, like, Kung Fu Panda 3, even though this show came out way before Kung Fu Panda 4. But again, it's not bad, it's just okay. For number 11, we have Curses. Now, to be fair, while looking up for this video and checking out for the shows on IMDb, I have never heard of this show. Like, ever. Also, one of the main characters in this movie are named Pandora. Like, why name them, like, after, like, an owner of an ancient artifact, like Pandora's box? Now, I'm not really interested in the story all that much, but I've gotta love the animation and art style in this film. Looks really good. And I gotta admit, this show is, like, probably one of the most unique out of all the DreamWorks originals. I mean, Tales of Arcadia is just basically supernaturalness and modern world, while She-Ra is just basically fantasy and Voltron is just a sci-fi TV show, and Kipo is just, like, a dystopian version of the future, but with beasts or something like that. But Curses, it focuses on the horror. And it's kind of interesting, even though I'm still, once again, not interested in the plot. For number 10, we finally reached one of the Tales of Arcadia TV shows, and that is Three Below. Now, to be fair, this show is really good, but to me, it's just okay. Like, I remember back on the first time I was watching this, I was really interested in season 1, but when it got another season, I I wasn't really into it at first for some reason. I mean, I like Steve and Asha's love story. I kind of like the whole alien got trapped on Earth kind of bit, even though I've seen that in like a lot of stuff. At first, the show was basically a midquel to season 3 of Troll Hunters, but then when it got a second season, it sort of became a sequel. Plus, I wasn't really interested into the villains at first. Like, they weren't just, like, really interesting. Like, I didn't really like these two. I already forgotten their name. But hey, the show isn't bad. It's just okay. For number 9 and 8, we have both Jurassic Park shows, Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory. Now, to be fair, I am not a big fan of Jurassic World, but I do kind of like these shows a bit. I mean, I'm not a big fan of dinosaurs, too. I mean, I used to be, but not anymore. But I do like these shows, but if I have to, like, describe, like, which show is better and which isn't, I have to say, like, for number 9, it'd be Chaos Theory, and for number 8, it'd be Camp Cretaceous. Why? Because, well, for number 9, it has, like, an interesting mystery, but then again, it just kind of falls apart. And then for number 8, it kind of just felt like it had one main focus, but once again, very interesting. Also, gay stuff. For number 7, we have Dragons, Riders of Berk. Now, to be fair, I thought Race to the Edge was like the only sequel TV show How to Train Your Dragon has, and the only good one DreamWorks has made. But unsurprisingly, this isn't that bad. I mean, the humor doesn't really connect with me, and same with the whole out of context moments. But I like Heather, I like some of the new characters and villains. We get to see more Hickstrid, which is, well, obviously my favorite part due to my unhealthy obsession with romance. Is it better than Race to the Edge? No. Is it really good? Yes. For number 6, we have Wizards, Tales of Arcadia. Now, I really wished that this would have been the Tales of Arcadia finale because it just felt so perfect if they just, I don't know, defeated the Arcane Order. However, the show isn't perfect itself because even though it's like 100% sequel to both of the first 2 Tales of Arcadia shows, it has some flaws. Like, Morgana's redemption arc, it was kind of unexpected, mainly because she just wanted her brother back. Spoiler alert, most of the story took place in the ancient times of Camelot. Most of the time when they were in the time travel sequence, it wasn't really that exciting for me. I mean, I was only into, like, the first episode and the last 3 of the show. The show itself is a mini-series, aka it only has 1 season and that's it. But the good stuff, we finally get to know more about Claire's shadow powers, like with the shadow staff that Morgana used to own, I think. Revealing King Arthur as the Green Knight was a lot more interesting than seeing these 3 being boring as heck. Seeing Jim as a mindless troll was pretty interesting. Well, to be fair, I kind of seen a few characters like this, like when Catcher was chipped in season 5 of She-Ra. But the main thing I love about this show is of how much they gave attention to Dukesy. Dukesy? I'll just call him Dukes. When I first saw him in Troll Hunters, I thought he was only there trying to ruin my ship and, like, I don't know, cause a love triangle. But when I saw him in a little bit of Three Below, my opinion on him changed. And in this show, Dukes is the main character. The show gives him a lot more of the spotlight. We get to know a little more about him, and he's a lot more older than you think. And he's a lot more likable. Kicking off the top 5, and number 5, we have Troll Hunters, Tales of Arcadia. This show was one of the first DreamWorks originals I saw my entire life, and it was one of my favorites, like, ever. Jim as a protagonist is amazing. The romance between him and Claire, I really love a lot, which you guys can see I talked about it in my DreamWorks couples ranking video. I really like the side characters, and the villains are a lot better than the other villains in the other TV shows. Like, for example, Bular was, like, a really interesting villain, like, at first, and then you switch on to his father, Gumnar, which is one of those villains you love to hate, like Fox from Hazbin Hotel. The only difference between the two is that when it comes to Gumnar taking his role as a villain seriously, he actually seems like a very likable character, and you also gotta love the finale of the show. Well, just for the show, not for the entire franchise. But Fox killed the wings for one of my favorite characters. How could you do that to Emily? She is just a sweetheart. I would die for you, Emily. But there was some times when I felt like I was watching Miraculous Ladybug. And no, it's not with the love stories. I'm talking about like with the whole memory wipe kind of thing. But that only happened once between like Jim's mother. But this is a really good show, and I would recommend that you would watch it before it leaves Netflix, because Kibo is going to go ahead and leave on the 26th, and I feel like it's already left now. For number 4, we have Dragon's Race to the Edge. Now, I kind of said this in my DreamWorks couples ranking video, which is also surprisingly my most popular video, ever. This show is surprisingly really good and, the best DreamWorks show DreamWorks has made, and probably the only one, ever. I already said this before. The show has improved Hiccup and Astrid's romance, which is really, really good. The action scenes are a lot better than I've seen in the first, second, and third film. A lot. And I kind of already said this, but we get to see more new side characters. Some of them are really likable, some aren't. And obviously, the best part of the entire franchise, we get more Hiccup and Toothless. I mean, come on. It's the main focus of the entire franchise. What'd you expect? So, it may not be DreamWorks' best show they've created, but it's the best sequel TV show they've ever done. Forever. Why do this to me with this? For the bronze medal, we have Voltron Legendary Defenders. A lot of you guys thought it was going to be number 1, and I can see why. Now, this show isn't technically a DreamWorks original. It was basically a reboot of the show that didn't really belong to them, but I really like the whole anime-like art style and expressions. I like some of the action scenes, and the humor connects with me really well. And my favorite character is Keith. He kind of reminds me of Aaron in the My Street universe. And before you guys ask, yes, I'm a Clance shipper. However, what keeps this from going to either first or second place is because a lot of people kept saying that the show has been getting into bad writing in later seasons, which I don't really see why. But to be fair, I've seen the same thing happen with Hazbin Hotel and Hell of a Boss, and I actually like those shows. For the silver medal, we have Kipo and the Ages of the Wonder Beast. This is another DreamWorks original that has been one of my favorites. You probably not have heard of this, and you might have not gotten the chance to watch it because, well, it's obvious. The art style looks beautiful. Some of the characters are really likable. It has some LGBT representations in it. Scarlet Mane isn't really much of an interesting villain, but Captain Amelia, or just Amelia, I think, she's not that interesting either, but it was a little plot twisting in the last episode when she, turned herself into a mega mute, aka, mutes are the thing she hates, and she tries to turn them back into animals, but I'll probably do that in case if I do a DreamWorks villains ranking if I include the TV shows. However, as much as I love Kipo and the Ages of the Wonder Beast, there is just one show that I love a lot more. A show that has been, my all-time favorite, and the one that might make this ranking feel biased, a lot. For the gold medal of DreamWorks TV shows, well, it's a little too obvious for some of you guys. It's gonna go to She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. Yeah, I'm way too biased in this ranking. Look, you guys know that I love She-Ra too much. You guys know I talk about Cachadora in all of my rankings so far. Now, with Voltron, this show isn't technically a DreamWorks original. It was a reboot of the show to something that wasn't really DreamWorks. There was a few animation mistakes here and there, but if you ignore that, then this show is a masterpiece. All the couples are a masterpiece, the characters are a masterpiece. Heck, Adora is a perfect protagonist. She follows the hero's journey perfectly. Hordak, probably Double Trouble, Horde Prime, and Catra are amazing villains. Well, even though I love Catra more. And true, Shadow Weaver is sort of a villain, but you guys know I don't like her since she tries to ruin my ship and my favorite character a lot. And there is a lot of LGBT representation. How do I know? There is more lesbians in this show than I can count. The show even gives out important messages like Perfuma's little therapy speech to Catra, or Mara's whole "You deserve love too" in the season finale. Speaking of which, the show's finale was peak perfection. And I mean literally. The kiss was peak. The defeat of Horde Prime was peak. It was similar to Avatar's villain's defeat, with the whole Fire Nation King stuff. I forgot his name. What was his name? Ozai? But what's the best episode of all time? Well, you're looking for the top rated on IMDb is either The Heart Part 2 or Save the Cat. I mean, I really like those episodes, but my favorite of all time, Princess Prom. I mean, come on, I can't be the only one hopping over Catra in a suit. She looks hot. Now, the main reason why I wanted to do this video because, well, if you guys didn't see my post of me getting upset of Kipo leaving Netflix, I kind of wanted to, rank every single TV show, what at the bottom should have been removed first. Well, even though some of the shows weren't really Netflix, and what shows should have been removed last, for good. If you guys were wondering, yes, I am going to do gacha videos because, well, the ranking is where you explore my opinions. The age gaps is just basically exploring information. And the gacha videos, well, is just where you explore my imagination. Now, here are the ideas for the future. Now, the one that's currently in development and the only one is if She-Ra characters were in Cinderella. Spoiler alert, there are two people who aren't from the She-Ra franchise are going to be the stepsisters. Or, I don't know, stepbrothers. The stuff that aren't in development but are officially stored in my brain for ideas. If Voltron were in Sleeping Beauty, I'm thinking of another funny moment. And if Superfish characters were in The Little Mermaid, I also have another funny moment in mind. Also, if you guys are wondering, since I just did a ranking, I'm going to be working on a gacha video next, and then I'm going to go back to my couples ranking stuff, and then the cycle is going to repeat. Don't worry to the She-Ra fans, I will continue the If She-Ra Were in Nutshell videos, I promise.